So I thought it might be interesting to compare the new Tab P12 from Lenovo to the Xiaomi Pad 6, and I think you're going to be surprised at just how close these two are. So let's go ahead and get started. Pricing on these two are going to be somewhat similar, starting at just under $300 for Lenovo and just over $300 for the Xiaomi Pad. They also both come with 128 gigabytes of storage. You can also expand the storage with a micro SD card on both tablets as well. And the two versions that I have both have 8 gigabytes of RAM. When it comes to the display, both tablets have pretty nice screen quality in my opinion. You get an 11-inch IPS LCD display on the Xiaomi Pad 6 with 1800 by 2800 resolution versus a larger 12.7-inch IPS LCD display on the Tab P12 with 1840 by 2944 resolution. One advantage for the Xiaomi Pad is it goes up to 144 Hz refresh rate versus only 60 for Lenovo. But I did notice once you put these next to each other, the Tab P12 looks a little more vibrant, has a little better contrast, but it's not a huge difference between the two. I just feel like the P12 looks a little better in person, but I don't think you can go wrong with either one. I ran my typical battery drain test on both tablets, and this one was a pretty easy win for Xiaomi, lasting about 7 hours versus only 5 hours for the Tab P12. To me, this is probably the weakest point to the Tab P12. So if you want the tablet with better battery life, you'll want to go with the Xiaomi Pad 6. Software-wise, both tablets are currently on Android 13. They're both going to be a little bit different than stock Android, but I like what I'm seeing so far. You'll even notice some similarities, like how they do their control center up in the corner, which is going to be similar to what you see on an iPad. They even have a dock down at the bottom that looks pretty similar. One difference is you've got the taskbar down at the bottom for Lenovo. Then you have little things like Google Discover Newsfeed left of the home screen on the Xiaomi Pad versus Google Entertainment Space for the Tab P12. Another advantage for Lenovo is it comes with the Tab Pen Plus, which is actually really similar to the Precision Pen 3. It's a really nice option to have. Sort of feels like an Apple Pencil. There is a stylus for the Xiaomi Pad, but unfortunately you have to get that separate at an extra cost. One advantage for the Xiaomi Pad 6 is it has video out, so you can just connect an adapter to go to an HDMI cable to connect it to an external monitor or TV. Definitely nice to have if you don't have very good Wi-Fi while traveling. The Tab P12 comes with a MediaTek Dimensity 7050 processor versus Snapdragon 870 in the Xiaomi Pad 6. So they're going to be somewhat close. The Xiaomi Pad is a little better on single and multi-core scores and just a tad better on GPU scores. Both are going to be fine for doing some multitasking, and they feel pretty quick just moving around the software. I feel like gaming is going to be good enough on both tablets, but it seems like things load a little faster on the Xiaomi Pad. And even though you can use the same settings on both, the Xiaomi Pad looks a tad bit sharper when it comes to the graphics, but you can play games like PUBG Mobile and Asphalt 9 fairly smooth on both. One thing to consider is the size of these two tablets, because the Xiaomi Pad's a little easier to handle. Unless you're going to be using a controller, then it's really nice on a large tablet like the Tab P12. Nice thing is you've got 2 speakers on each side for both tablets, and they sound pretty good overall, especially once you turn on Dolby Atmos. I do feel like the Lenovo tablet might be a little bit louder, but I don't think you can go wrong with either one. Here's a quick sample of each just to give you an idea of what they sound like. Now when it comes to cameras, typically on tablets, they're not going to be the best out there. I feel like these two are probably average compared to others I've tested. On the Xiaomi Pad 6, you get a 13 megapixel lens on the back, 8 megapixel on the front. For Lenovo, it's just the opposite. You've got an 8 megapixel on the back, 13 megapixel on the front. And I feel like you could get by using either one for Zoom meetings or other video conference calls. But here's a quick sample of each just to give you an idea of what to expect. So as you can see, these two are pretty close in most categories. It may just come down to personal preference on software, and if you want a larger tablet like the P12 or something a little easier to handle and travel with like the Xiaomi Pad 6. I know I've got a few more comparisons for the Tab P12 that I'm still working on, so you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.